So World of Warcraft 10.0 has just been announced, Dragonflight, an expansion revolving around the Dragon Isles and the aspects of the dragons, right? And they're returning to Azeroth and doing some cool stuff, and we fighty. But Blizzard have just done their kind of reveal, their showcase of the expansion, some of the things that they're working on, some of the systems, the zones, and what we can expect with the new expansion. And there's a lot to really break down already, and hopefully in the coming days they'll share even more information with us in interviews and additional kind of media. There were a lot of spoilers for this expansion, a lot of people talking about, or a lot of like images of the new race, the Drakthyr, that were revealed. Some of the talent system reworking was revealed, which is a real shame, because I would have loved to have not seen any of those things. And I know it's like, well, why don't you just not go, why don't you just not go on the internet for 4 years and then you wouldn't see these things? But a bit of a shame that some of that stuff was ruined, but either way, it's very, very exciting to see a lot of this stuff. But let's kind of just jump into then some of the stuff that we can be expecting. So, of course, we're going to the Dragon Isles. We're going to have 4 new zones to level in, plus a new starter zone for the new race that is going to be the Drakthyr, which are like a dragon race of a playable race, and they are linked to only being able to play one class, the Evoker. So you're gonna be locked in to the Evoker if you want to play Drakthyr, and vice versa. It's a mid-range class, so I think you're gonna have some kind of auto-attacking going on from a distance. I don't quite know yet, but so I saw something or read something about that. But it's going to be a 2-spec class of either healer or DPS. It looks really, really good in terms of the animations. I'm sure some of them will be kind of shown in the video that I'm kind of just hovering over here to kind of watch through. But it looks fantastic. Also, they are going to be, and I don't know how this is going to affect like some of the tuning of other specs, well, the design of other specs, because it's got a very interesting mechanic where you can like hold certain abilities down, and the longer you hold them, the more powerful they are going to be. And a lot of it is playing with time. The Evoker is going to play with time as a way of kind of doing their spells and things. And I wonder if this is, or a lot of people are speculating whether this is going to detract from Arcane Mage, because Arcane Mage in PvP has a spell that you hold. Also, or apparently that's what I've been told. Also, they of course play a lot with time. And so it's like, are Arcane Mage going to become watered down as a result? They're already not a fantastic spec. It's kind of like when Demon Hunter was released and they took things from Warlock, like Metamorphosis, for example, and put that onto Demon Hunter and not on Warlock. So are we going to see Blizzard pull from other specs and other classes? One thing that I do love about, like, it's easy to be conflicted with the implementation of this new spec in class, because it's like, oh, well, they can't even balance the game with the 12 classes. How are they going to do it with the 13th? And it's like, well, you know what? If they can't do it with 12, may as well have a 13th. Like, this game is an MMORPG. Trust me, as a feral druid, I get it, not wanting to, you want the game to be balanced, and I get that, but it's also an MMORPG, and we should be having fun, new, exciting things when expansions are coming out, right? But that's kind of all I have to say on like the class and the race and stuff so far. I probably won't play it myself because I'm a melee player, but it looks really cool. A lot of people seem to be really excited about it. I don't really love the visuals on the race. I think that aesthetically they don't... I personally don't think they look amazing, but maybe you love them. Each their own. Everyone's going to have their own taste. But for the people that are going to enjoy it, I think it looks really, really good. They've also then said that they're going to be revamping professions. So professions are going to have like a whole new revamp to them. You're going to have levels that you're going to be able to get. There's going to be like, you can specialize if you want to be like an armor smith or a weaponsmith with blacksmithing like you used to be able to do back in the day. You can really specialize and create this kind of end game as a profession doer, which is really cool. You're also going to be able to have work orders. So you're going to be able to go to people and say, like, or list your mats on the auction house and say, look, I need this item crafting. Here are the mats. So you can provide the mats or provide some of them, not all of them, or none of them. ask for this specific item to be made, and then give them a fee on top of that. And then if you're the one that doing the profession, you can come up to the auction house and you can, or to this auction house type system, and you can decide whether or not you want to do it, whether you're happy with the fee and all that kind of stuff. So that seems really, really cool. Seems like professions are really getting this great new kind of addition to them, and I think that's really, really fantastic. So professions are looking really cool. I want to see more into them, though. I want to see exactly how things are going to go. They did say that there's going to be RNG. You're going to be able to proc, like, stronger items. You're going to be able to proc better potions and things like that. So I want to see to what degree. I'm okay with it being RNG until you get really, really good, and then, like, it's guaranteed, and it kind of creates this, like, leveling up process of a profession. And then if you become, like, this master crafter, then you're going to be more desired and things, and maybe known on your server or whatnot as the person who can craft those things and is like the best crafter, which is really cool. So maybe if there's some kind of like late end game with professions, that could be really, really cool. Another thing they're doing is they're completely revamping the talent system, and I'll take a little look here. So they're completely revamping the talent system. So we're gonna go back to like a classic style talent system, but something that looks as if it's being improved upon. This is a screenshot that we can kind of take a look at. So first of all, you're gonna have different loadouts. So you're gonna be able to go into a city or pop a tome, and then freely change your talents around. So you can change between bosses and whatnot, or Mythic Plus and Raid, and however you want to do it. And you're going to be able to save a whole bunch of different loadouts. It's not going to cost gold to change. I don't think you're going to have to pay for additional loadouts. I think you can just create new loadouts. That seems to be how it is so far anyway. You could easily reset all your talents as well and start again and quickly make builds and whatnot. The way it seems to be working, so you'll notice some of these are squares, some of these are circles, some are diamonds, and some are hexagons, right? So depending, like, squares, I believe, are abilities. Circles are, like, bonus effects or modifiers. Hexagons are choices, so you can select between two things. So, for example, down here, this is a choice between Incarnation or Convoke. So, Convoke is staying in the game. We think, apparently. Awesome, okay. And then you have Diamond, and I think people are speculating that diamonds are ones that are unlocked when you put a certain amount of points into a tree. So just naturally you'll unlock these diamonds over time, so like Battle Res, Stampeding Roar, Nature Swiftness, Tranquility, so like iconic things, but I guess you'll unlock them over time, which is quite interesting. You're going to have two separate trees simultaneously, so you're going to have a Druid tree, or like a class tree, and a spec tree. I don't know how many points you're going to be able to allocate into each one. Like, can you allocate all of your points into just the Druid tree, or to just the spec tree? Do you have, say, so the level cap is going to be going up to 70. Are you only going to be able to put points into, like, 35 and 35? Or, like, how exactly is it going to work? We're going to have to wait and see. But I do love the idea of this talent tree system. I'm somebody who plays MMORPGs because I like to express my, like, through my character. I like to find builds and interesting playstyles that I enjoy, not necessarily that are the best, but just because it's something that works for me or something that I like. Like right now, for example, I'm playing my Feral Druid. I don't like Blood Talons, so I'm playing MOC. It makes it easier to stream and all that kind of stuff, so I'm doing that, right? But this talent system looks fantastic. There's definitely going to be, I'm going to be spending so much time, if I get onto the alpha or beta, I'm going to be spending so much time playing with different builds, seeing how to craft the, like, maybe like Abyss build, but also a really fun, interesting build. I don't know. I'm really excited for this. I think this is going to be fantastic, and hopefully they listen to people's feedback early. Hopefully we have a long beta cycle to flesh things like this out very heavily. But yeah, I mean, I'm really excited about these things in general, like the new talent system, the new professions. Apparently they're going to have new dungeons as well. So they're going to have 8 new dungeons on release, though only 4 of them are going to be playable in Mythic Plus, and then they're going to bring 4 dungeons from old raids into the pool. So Season 1 will be 4 dungeons from Dragonflight, 4 dungeons from WoW's history. Season 2 will be the other 4 Dragonflight dungeons, and 4 more dungeons from WoW's history, excluding Shadowlands, because apparently those are 2 that we've already had those 2 recently. So excluding Shadowlands, it'll be historic dungeons, who knows, maybe Deadmines, maybe, I don't know, BRD, maybe Zul'Farrak, like who knows what it will be, but this is interesting. I think that what they should do is make it so we have all of the Dragonflight dungeons. First and foremost, they're new, so people are going to want to play them. Secondly, only having 8 dungeons is too small of a pool, in my opinion. I think 12 dungeons is like, no more than 12, but I think 12 is a nice position to be in. I think 8 is too small, where you kind of go through that cycle a bit too quickly. So I'd like to see them have all, or have 12 in. But I think recycling old dungeons is really, really good. It takes you back on a little bit of a nostalgia trip, but is also just, I don't know, I think it's just really, really quite good to have relevant old content. They're also going to be updating the HUD and the UI, and I think this is good. You're going to be able to move things around and have more freedom in where you place things. They made the minimap bigger, removed some of the clutter from it. The health bars are bigger. They've not removed the griffins. There you go. So yeah, so they got the griffins still if you want them, or you can remove them. So it looks like they're kind of baking in like an Elf UI or something like that, like a UI add-on into the game, which is really, really good. I think this is something that's needed. Because if you look at Final Fantasy XIV, they have that where you can freely customize the UI to your liking, which I think is really good. And it's about time that Blizzard has that as a default option. So I think that's a really good change. So far, I'm like really excited with everything that they've kind of got going on. There's nothing that I'm really too worried about that I've heard about so far. There's going to be this new thing called dragon riding. So you're going to be able to ride around on a dragon, and like you're gonna have it day 1, but you're gonna have your dragon, which you can customize and change and morph it into different styles. And from what it looks like, you're not gonna be able to fly on it, but glide on it. So it, like, the way they've said it is if like you're questing and you go up a mountain and you complete your quest and then you need to get back down, you're gonna be able to jump on your dragon and glide down and do some tricks and whatnot. And the better you get as a dragon rider, the more intricate things you're going to be able to do. So I think that's a cool new additional like customizable system. People are going to be going around getting their cool like dragon rider mounts and customization. You'll be able to put armor on them, change the horns and spikes and all that stuff, which is really, really cool. So I think it sounds pretty good. Like, there's some pretty good stuff. One thing I think is cool is that they're continuing the renown system, and I believe as well they're going to be continuing covenants, or I imagine that they're going to be continuing covenants in some capacity, but they are continuing renown. So we'll see about covenants, but they are continuing renown. I think this is in some ways good, because it's really sucky when Blizzard spends a whole expansion getting a system to the point where it's somewhat playable. Like, it's finally playable in the last patch of an expansion, and then they completely remove it, they scrap it, they act as if it's never existed, and they start again. So I'm really glad that they're continuing a system and looking to, like, if we have renown the way it is at the end of Shadowlands, and they bring it in that format, day 1 of Dragonflight, but have also improved on top of it, then I think it will be a good system. It's going to be these levels that you unlock on your character. It's like additional kind of just stuff. It's just additional things to go, ooh, I leveled. Ooh, I got like, I've been out exploring and I've gained something. What have I gained? Oh, I've gained a new mount, or I've gained I don't know, like a cool new armor like piece that looks cool, or whatever it may be. I think they have freedom there to make those rewards kind of more interesting, but whatever those things end up being, pretty cool. But they do need to make these things account-wide, or they need to make it so that if you have a renown for like different covenants, that you get them. Oh yeah, so there's 4 reputations will have separate renown bars. Yeah, so but you'll be able to progress them all at the same time. That needs to happen, right? You need to be able to just prog everything at once and not feel like, oh, I'm switching to a different reputation, I've lost things. So those are really good changes. I think that's really, really good. In general, I'm very happy with the announcement that they made. Something that I thought was also really cool was that we got to see the dev team. If you actually just watch some of these videos, right, like you can see here, we get to see the dev team. We get to see more people than just like Ian, Law, and potentially one or two others, right? It's really great to see that we're just seeing people who were in charge of these actual designs that we're now seeing, designs of the zones and whatnot as well. And so it's really great to see, to put names to faces, faces to names, and to know that there's more going on at Blizzard. There's people there. These devs are people, and hopefully seeing this will make the community a lot more respectful in general, and maybe feel like there's more discourse between the player and the dev. And this is something that other games I think do fantastically. If you look at Final Fantasy 14, if you look Final Fantasy 14 is a good example, but others do it as well. But having more discourse between the devs and the players I think is really, really good. And I'd love to see more of this. Love to see more dev talks in general. But I'm very excited. I know that we've got to wait and see. But so far, I'm very happy with how this expansion is shaping up. Let me know your thoughts, though, in the comment section. Let me know how you're feeling about it. I'm sure if you come check me out on Twitch, linked in the description below, I'll probably be talking about 10.0 for a long while now, sharing opinions and whatnot about it. But thank you, everyone, for watching, and I'll see you again soon.